Welcome to the Shit Appreciation Podcast, and today we're going to be speaking about friendships. So,
Friendships.
stop.
Friendships.
Friend. Friend.
Podcast friend.
Have you seen that? The In-Betweeners?
Yes, of course I have. Anybody who's in the age bracket that we're in has seen the In-Betweeners,
Yeah.
for absolutely sure.
So, what does it mean to you? What do friendships mean to you?
Oh my God. For me, friendship is one of the most important parts of my whole life. I find it absolutely just wonderful. I just love having a varied amount of different types of personalities that come in and out of my life. I absolutely love it. Friendship is truthfulness and saying the hard stuff and just telling the truth in a loving and compassionate way.
You've got such a big group of friends, haven't you? And they're all...
So popular.
Yeah.
So beloved.
I love hearing the amount of people that you've got in your life and all of the connections you have and all of the stories you have and all the meetups you have. I don't have that. I work very differently, but I still have the same values when you just said what it means. That's exactly how I feel as well. I do feel like friendships are... It's weird. I kind of feel like it's almost as if friendships are tested to see if they are friendships and not just acquaintances when something really awful happens in our life. And that's when you see who surfaces and who shows up for you.
They always say that, don't they, though? You know who your real friends are when shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
And I think that's true. I think that's really true. But I've also found that sometimes when shit hits the fan, people that I didn't expect, that I wasn't that close to, actually, you know, come and rise up to the plate.
And on the contrary, those that you thought maybe would, don't.
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, my God. I mean, there's definitely been people in my life that I thought would always be in my life and have had really long-term friendships with that have sort of dissipated and left my life. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing because I think, you know, we're all evolving, all of us together. And sometimes I kind of think that people come in and out of your life at just the right time.
It's like they serve a purpose.
Absolutely.
But like we serve a purpose in their life too, so it's it's an equal...
Yeah, it's a two-way street in that way, yeah, sure. Yeah, I try, and this is an active thing because I think everybody's got really, really busy lives and it's really difficult sometimes to be able to connect with your friends and actually have a face-to-face meet up and have that time together. But even when I don't have that time to be able to give an individual, I always make sure that I leave them a voice note. I don't do text messages. As all of my friends know, it's just never-ending voice notes because I don't feel that I can convey the emotion of, you know, how much I miss you or how much I care or how much, you know, I'm thinking of you through a text message.
That's a really good point, isn't it? Because a text message, the energy that comes with a text message is only ever the energy of which it's received.
Exactly that. That's a nail on the head.
Yeah.
I mean, God, I could literally send you a text message saying, "Hi Jodie, how are you?" And if you're in a shitty mood, you're going to read that message going, "Hi Jodie, how are you?"
Yeah. What's wrong with her? What have I done wrong?
Exactly that.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, for me, voice note is always, I'm always pick up the phone, give somebody a call.
Yeah.
And so they can actually like really hear the emotion in your voice and how you connect. I always make time for my friends. I find that's really important. And I don't know whether that's just a life lesson from when we've discussed on previous podcasts, like when I was in my previous marriage, that I didn't necessarily make time for my friends when I was wrapped up in that relationship. So now that I know that after that relationship finished, all I needed was my friends, that now I really make sure that I nurture those relationships, because at the end of the day, you don't know what's going to happen in your future. You don't know what hardships you're going to go through. You don't know, because we can't tell the future, although we'd love to. We can't tell the future. But I know for a fact that no matter what I go through, those individuals will be there for me. I'm very, very lucky to have such a broad variety of people in my life. And I've had friends I've had since school, which those two women are literally everything. They are so phenomenal and so wonderful. And they know me like I know me, because we've known each other for so long and we've experienced so much together. But actually, those two girls, if you're listening, you know exactly who you are. You're very precious and very special. There was a period of time after we finished school, years in fact, where we didn't speak to each other at all. There was no connection there with each other at all. And then it was literally with a chance encounter that we ended up reconnecting with each other. And ever since then, we don't see each other for months and months at a time. We never do. And it is literally every now and again where I'll leave a voice note or I get a text message or something. But it doesn't matter. No matter how much time passes, when we get together, it's like no time has gone at all. It is fantastic. So we make sure for our relationship that we plan to see each other, the three of us, at least once every 6 months. And we have a sleepover like old times, and we just have fun and we just talk shit and we just laugh and we are literally just together. And then we'll go home the next day and we won't speak to each other or see each other for another God knows how many months. I know at the drop of a hat, if anything is going on in my life, 100,000,000% those women will be there.
That's what people call their ride and die, isn't it? I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Those two girls are like...
Did you find it
so
hard
special.
to make friendships when you were younger?
I didn't, to be honest with you. I'm an only child, and I think lots of people worry when they have only children that they aren't going to make friendships because they don't have a sibling and they find it really hard to connect. But from what I've found talking to other only children is that it actually makes you more extrovert, because you have to go out and put yourself out there to have connection with other people. I mean, there will be only children that are more introvert, but the majority of only children are quite extrovert. Yeah. So I definitely didn't ever have any problems making friends with people.
I found it quite easy to make acquaintances, but I found it really hard to trust. Really hard to trust friends, or people that could be friends. And I think I lived through the friendships of my siblings as well before I was able to establish my own friendship group. I had a couple of girls that I was really close with. But like you, there's lots of distance between us. But if I picked up the phone now, they would be there and I would be there. Such a lovely friendship. However, I just think sometimes when you struggle to make friends as a child, that can really have quite a big impact when you get to kind of your teenage years and your early 20s. And suddenly you're kind of in a world where, who do I trust? Like, this person's come into my life, I really like them, but how do I trust them to not betray me or not agree with me in some way? Like, how do I navigate that?
How to be vulnerable with somebody else.
Yeah, and I think it's that it could be something to do with feeling like when you are betrayed, that's it.
Yeah.
And I think that actually is really interesting because it's not necessarily a betrayal. So let me kind of explain what I mean. So when something happens in a friendship that you don't agree with, for some reason there's some people, and I think I can be very much like this, my son's very much like this, it's almost like cut it off. There's no allowances. Whereas as I've got older, I've realised that you can be friends with people even if you don't necessarily agree 100% with what they're doing. And you can have those difficult conversations with them. And also, you know, in reverse, they can have those difficult conversations with you. Yeah. So, and I found that that's been my pattern of friendship over the years. And I found it much easier in the past few years to have stronger connections with people who are now my friends, hence you. But it wasn't easy for me. It definitely wasn't easy for me to have that. So if you're out there and you think that, you know, you should have this huge group of friends because somebody else has this huge group of friends, that's not necessarily the right way. Like, there's no right way of having a friendship group. I think the bottom line is to know that the friends that you are sort of welcoming into your life is based around that trust and that support and that love.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, friendship is almost like service. And that when I go into a friendship, I feel like it is very much, it's not like necessarily a two-way street. It's not like a tit for tat type of thing. But I think that you need to be aligned with an individual where you are able to give to your maximum capacity and you are able to receive from them to your maximum capacity. I think that's just really important. I think it's really important to have connection with people. I think fundamentally that is exactly, you know, why we are doing this podcast in the first place, is because, you know, we want to bring connection to other people. We want you guys that are listening to be able to connect with our other listeners as well as us. It's so important to be heard and to be seen and to be able to have those relationships with people where you can be vulnerable and have judgment-free conversation.
Yeah, and have that connection and that vulnerability with somebody and that relatability.
Yeah.
That's really important for me. Like when I'm scrolling online, for example, and I see things and it's relatable, it suddenly feels like you're less alone.
Yeah.
And I think that's what friendships can bring, is that, you know, that non-judgmental and relatability.
Yeah. And it gets rid of that loneliness. It gets rid of, you know, that horrible pandemic, we can almost call it, of adult loneliness. And I think that has a lot to do with what we think people think about us. And that's the thing, is that people aren't necessarily putting themselves out there to make new friendships as adults because they are worried about judgment.
And rejection.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just saying to Jodie earlier before we started this podcast, I am a relatively gregarious person, and I think that's definitely served me well when it comes to making new friendships, and especially making new friendships as an adult. And some of the friendships that I have made in the most recent years of my adult life have been some of the most amazing friendships, the friendships that have taught me loads about myself, stuff that I have been able to share with others to help build them up. I've just been incredibly blessed to have this influx of really amazing people coming into my life. There was a woman on the school run that I used to see daily. I cannot put my finger on it, but when you just get this beautiful feeling about somebody. And I kept on seeing this woman. I was like, oh my God. And I think one day she was with her son, and she always looks gorgeous. She's just got this beautiful, ethereal way that she dresses. So I sound like I've got a full girl crush, because I do. I love her very, very much. And I just stopped her on the way to school when she was going back to her car, and I just said, I just need you to know that you always look absolutely beautiful.
Oh, I love that.
And the funny thing was, she said to me, she goes, thank you so much for that. She said, I really needed that today. Oh. And I was like, oh, it's lovely. So anyway, months go on, and, you know, we would just wave to each other when we would see each other at school, because, you know, I just had that initial communication. And then I had this overwhelming urge. I sound like a freaking stalker. I sound like a weirdo. I had this overwhelming urge that this woman was meant to be in my life, and that she was meant to be in my life. And I literally went up to her at her car while she was putting her son in her car, and I went, I really feel like we're meant to be friends. Like a freaking lunatic. And I said, do you fancy going for a coffee? I feel like you're my people. And she said to me, I feel exactly the same. Thank God she said I feel exactly the same, because else that would have been a bit of a blow.
This story would have been a totally different
and then
story.
the story would have ended there. But oh my God, I just love spending time with her. I absolutely love spending time with her. And we've got a really great friendship now. And I know, regardless of what happens down the road, I'm going to be friends with this woman for a really, really long time.
Yeah. I love that. And I love the fact that you had the courage to do that. And I think a lot of people don't. And
I know. I think that's the issue, isn't it? It's the pride and the fear of being rejected.
Rejection. And coming back to what I was saying, where I struggle to make friends.
Yeah.
That it must be that baseline of rejection, that fear of kind of someone not liking me,
Yeah.
or, you know. So it's very normal to feel like that.
Yeah.
And it's also really lovely to use you as the example of going, actually, you were brave enough to do that. And look now, you have such a wonderful
I've got
friend
a
in your life.
fantastic relationship with this woman. She's incredibly gifted and talented, and she actually did our beautiful logo. Shout out to Maxine, you're fabulous. But I also find, for me, I have a very deep understanding of the fact that you are not always going to be liked. You are not going to be everybody's cup of tea. And I have met plenty of people that I have been acquaintances with, and, you know, in like baby groups and stuff like that, where I've met like a really big group of women. They're all very pleasant, but they're just not my vibe.
Yeah.
And that's okay. It's okay that someone is not your vibe. And because you know that someone's not your vibe, you too will not be someone's vibe.
Yeah.
And that is okay. And you can have a communication, you can have a chat with these people.
Yeah.
but you don't have to bring them into the inner circle.
I think that's also quite important, isn't it? Is that how we push and force friendships because maybe we feel like we don't have any more friends or any other friends, or we can't make any more friends, and we kind of stick around for far longer than what we should, and we put up with way too much. You know, our boundaries are very much, you know, overridden kind of thing, and we don't know how to articulate ourselves. I think it's important as well to dig deep and find that kind of inner power, inner confidence to say, actually, I don't vibe with that person. Like that's not someone that I am in alignment with. And to know that there are people out there that you will be in alignment with. It's just kind of finding your tribe, isn't it?
I kind of go on feeling, to be honest with you, if I'm around somebody and they make me feel really good about myself, and you'll feel it, you'll know. I know I don't want to go all woo-woo here, but
let's do it.
let's go full woo-woo. But you get a feeling about somebody. If they make you feel good, then they are your people. And sometimes they're just a bit shy and don't want to say, do you want to go for a coffee? You know.
I think as well, with friendships, something's just sort of landed for me here. When we sort of cherry pick our friendships, that's a real indication of our own ability to choose people that we're in alignment with, and to also cut that contact if they're no longer in alignment with, which then I think filters through to how we cherry pick our partner.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a practice run, isn't it? As we're growing up, we're kind of having this practice run.
Well, they're all relationships.
Yeah.
And they're all about communication. Every single relationship that you have, whether it's with your children, with your partner, with your parents, with your friends, with yourself, it's all about communication.
Yeah, and connection.
Which
and
is really
some
cool.
of them dissolve, and some of them, like you mentioned earlier, like we evolve, so we outgrow people, and other people outgrow us, and therefore it breaks down. We're no longer in alignment with them, and we those friendships kind of dissipate.
Yeah.
How did you find, or have you found, when you've had a very strong friendship that is no longer there? How does someone deal with that?
I've had a few. It used to be known as, I used to get told from individuals that sometimes people would dread getting the text from me. My idea of friendship is truthfulness.
Yeah.
Truthfulness and love, because I think love comes from being honest and being truthful. And I think there's a lot of relationships out there, friendships, that people will sugarcoat the truth, or they will say things that are not true to appease and enable somebody. My idea of love is not that. No. I've had a few long-term friendships that have not worked out. People that I really genuinely thought I'd have in my life forever. Forever. But they were emotionally abusing themselves. They were making really, really poor life choices. And I would tell them that. Yeah. And then they would agree with me, and then they would carry on. And then they would come back and say, oh, but I'm so sad, this is going on, drama, 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 drama. And then I'd give the same advice again, and they'd be like, yeah, I absolutely agree with you. And then they'd carry on. And you know what? It got to the point where I could not sit back anymore and watch my friend destroy themselves.
And be an enabler.
Yeah, because I was enabling it, because by me sort of mollycoddling and saying, oh, I'm always here. And then
it siphons the energy out of you, doesn't it?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
There's no change in them.
Absolutely. It's fucking heartbreaking.
Yeah. It's horrible to watch, isn't it?
Oh my God.
Especially because you have that deep love for that person, and yet they're not able, for some reason, to make those changes. Yeah. But then you've got to honour yourself in that situation and be like, well, I can't be subject to this either. No. And actually, sometimes it's like a relationship, isn't it? A partner relationship. If we are with someone who is making those decisions, by you standing by them is not actually going to help them. And sometimes losing everything is what someone needs in order to make those changes.
I mean, I had hoped that was going to be the case, because it got to the point, this particular friendship, that this had been going on for multiple years. And I did say, right, I'm taking myself out of the equation, in hope that the love that I felt was reciprocated enough for them to make a real change and help themselves. And it didn't work out. And it didn't work out at all. And it was almost like a grieving process. And it was heartbreaking. And I can remember my husband going, "Oh, you've just got to let this go. You've got to let it go. You know, this is toxic. This has been really, bad for you. All you do is talk about your friend's drama."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Do you know what?" And I did. And I kind of just let it go over time. It was painful, but I let it go. I've also had another friendship where somebody was in an incredibly poor relationships, and I had repeatedly said, "Please, please, please get out of this relationship. If you feel so bad in this relationship that you want to not be here anymore." I mean, I had even gone to counselling with this individual to help them, to be a support. If I'm a friend with you, I'm a fucking diehard friend. I will be there through all the difficult shit. Then it got to the fact where the bloke that she was with knew how I felt about him, because I was honest with her how I felt about him. And then she got pregnant, and then they got married, and I never saw her again.
Yeah, it's tough.
Because she fundamentally chose that abusive, emotionally abusive relationship over someone who genuinely loved her.
I think with someone like yourself who understands why people do that, because let's face it, somebody who's in an abusive relationship, and that could be with our partner or with our friends or with our parents or children even, when we're involved in that, it's not because we want to be.
Yeah.
There's like a deeper going on there that is pulling us towards it. It's familiar for some reason. It's familiar for us. Our nervous system almost feels safer there. Yeah. We need those ups and downs in order to feel safe, because that's what we were used to. And for someone like you, I think you could probably see and understand that, and it brings so much sadness. Whereas if you're in a friendship or have friendships that are very similar, and you're trying and trying and trying to help these people or this person, and you're not getting through to them, just, I think, almost doing your own research on it and finding out why someone is like that, that will help you as the friend to have the compassion for them instead of the anger, but also honouring yourself in knowing that it's not your responsibility to get them out of this situation.
And it's not your responsibility to fix them. It really isn't. But the one thing that I do, which I'm notorious for doing, is when I leave a relationship, friendship, I will write. And as I said, I don't like to do text messages. I do voice notes. But on these occasions, I do a text message.
It's like a final goodbye.
It really is. It really is. And it is just a kind and loving explanation as to why I am taking myself away from that situation.
Amazing.
Because I need to fully express why I'm doing it and why I'm taking myself out of that relationship.
Yes.
Because it leaves a door open if that person wants to receive it in the way that it's intended, for them to come and step back in if they wish to.
Well, they're also probably not used to being approached in that way.
Yeah.
After behaviours like that, often people get angry, and then they write anger, don't they? They project that anger, and then that person receives more anger. So the fact that you've written such a beautiful, nice, loving, kind message, it almost shows them that, oh, hold on a minute, like, this person isn't angry, but they're done. It's like, it's weird, isn't it? I don't know if anyone has grown up with parents that don't know how to communicate very well, and they're not emotionally regulated, and when you do something like that prime example of when you spill a drink and your parents go, "Oh my God, what have you done?" and it's the end of the world, and then you've got the other parents that go, "Oh, okay, would you want to help me go and grab a towel and we'll clear this up together?"
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm probably the first.
Oh, don't get me wrong, I've been there too. But the difference is that the nervous system is created, isn't it, in those moments? And that's what that person is expecting to happen. Oh my God, my friend's going to go crazy. I'm going to get a load of abuse. I'm going to get a load of hatred back. And suddenly you're approaching it with love, kindness and softness, which, again, it's not just for them, it's for you.
Yeah, I find it very difficult. God, I feel like I've got a lot of these stories, which I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
Well, you've had so many friends.
Yeah.
I probably don't, because I've had a smaller pool of people in my life. So the more people you have, the
more crazy stories you're going to have. It's quite funny, actually, because my friend, I'm going to do a shout out to Lynn. You know who you are. Me and my husband have had a running joke with Lynn, which Lynn knows, is that we call her Let Down Linny. She's not a letdown, Lynn. You're not a letdown. You're freaking awesome. And I adore you. You know I adore you. But Lynn is quite forgetful, and she can be really forgetful of things. And I can remember her, like, I think it was like my baby shower. It was like my baby shower. Bearing in mind, she's that child's godmother. So that says a lot, doesn't it? And she forgot that it was my baby shower, and she thought it was the next week.
Oh, wow.
So when she didn't turn up, I was like,
hello,
where the fuck are you, Lynn?
You're quite
and she was like, what do you mean? Like, honestly, she was like, what do you mean? But, you know, where are I? And I was like, love, it's my baby shower, like now. And she's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then she's like, are you going to send me the text? I'm so sorry. Please don't send me the text. She knows about the text. She's like, please don't send me the text. You'll never have the text, Lynn. We've got longevity. There's a shit ton of love there.
I think that comes back to what we were saying just a minute ago, isn't it? Is that our friends can mess up.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a bigger picture,
I mean, we still ridicule her now, and it's been years. My daughter's like 9, and we're still going on about it. There is nothing that girl can do which would ever piss me off.
I think that's because the friendship is based in that love, connection and honesty and feeling aligned, but also knowing that, hey, guess what? They're human, and sometimes they mess up.
Absolutely.
But I think we're so quick, aren't we, to judge? And to push that, like, you shouldn't have done that.
You've let me down.
God,
God, I just thought it was hilarious because it's just so much within. It was just so her. I'm like, oh my God.
And that's part of her that you love.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I think that's the thing. I mean, I don't know about you, but what types of personalities do you think you're most drawn to? Are there certain types of personalities that you're drawn to, or is it a variation of different people?
It's changed over the years. So as I was growing up, so my friendship group, I would have felt safe around people that were using drugs, that were quite loud, very drunk, abusive, things like that. But as I've evolved, as I've healed and I've grown, I spent many years in that like in between stage where I was like, I don't actually know how and who are supposed to be my friends, because my nervous system was like, well, they're more familiar. But now I would say I definitely attract people who are calm, who are peaceful, who are able to communicate and have really open, probably woo-woo discussions. They're my deep connections.
We all like a little bit of woo-woo.
We all like a bit of woo-woo. And I do find it hard. I don't know if you feel this, but when you're in someone's presence, and even though they're a good friend, there's still like there's almost like a wall. Like the energy doesn't quite flow.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you feel that, because obviously you're more of an open book than I am in terms of friendships. Whereas for me, if that energy's there, I sit with that and I pay attention to it. I don't just ignore it. And it can take me months.
You a little while to warm up to somebody.
I'm like, hold on a minute, what is that saying? What's that energy saying? Because there's something that's not in alignment, and it's up to me whether I go, am I okay with that not being in alignment? Because they are a lovely person, but they're just not. I'm just not connecting with them on, say, 2 or 3 levels.
Again, the energy, isn't it?
Yeah, really energy based for me. Really energy based. And I think if it doesn't flow, I know I shut down a little bit. I'm not truly me if the energy doesn't flow, and I don't like that. I feel a bit of a fraud when I can't fully be me.
But that's good, because that's it. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
it's like we were saying, no, you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea, and everybody's not going to be your cup of tea.
Yeah, exactly.
God, it's such an English saying. If you're not from England, I'm really sorry. I don't really know how else to describe that.
Yeah, and it's being okay with it, isn't it? It's just being okay with it.
It's knowing yourself.
And being okay with yourself. Because I think a lot of people aren't. A lot of people aren't okay with themselves. And actually, the relationships that we have in our lives are often the reflection of the relationships we have with ourselves. Hence why when I was younger...
You had that particular friendship group.
Yeah, because I had this self-abuse going on, the hatred, the no self-worth and all of those things going on. And suddenly when that grew within me, my friendship group grew with those qualities and values. And
also why people drop off. Like, you had those people and then they weren't in alignment with you in your personality anymore. Yeah. So then it was time to just say goodbye.
And do you know what? Like, I mean, you've just touched on it as well. I found that really hard. There was some of it I found absolutely like refreshing, and it was like, oh thank God, like I don't have to do this anymore. But there's one or two that I can think about. One in particular, I'm still sad to this day, and it's been 10 years, and it does make me sad. If I think about it, it does, because I believe that there was the trust, the value, the honesty, the love there, but circumstances meant that it couldn't
happen.
And it's okay to feel that. I think it's okay to kind of go, God, you know, I still miss that person. I hope they're doing well.
Yeah,
you know,
but that also teaches you a beautiful lesson, doesn't it, about what love really is?
Yeah.
Because love is not necessarily about being with somebody all the time or having connection with somebody all the time. You can still love somebody
and let them go.
And let them go.
Yeah. In fact, that can be one of the most powerful things you can do for somebody. Really, really hard. Really hard. Not an easy one.
Again.
Yeah.
I only genuinely always want the best for my friends. I want them to have as much success, as much love, as much money. I want them to have it all. I really genuinely want them to have all of that stuff.
And I think that's why you have so many friends and you're able to allow friendships to come and go the way you do, is because you honour yourself within that friendship. And I honestly admire that. I think that's really lovely, because I know that I don't think I've even got to that point in friendships where I've gone that deep into them, because I've gone, it's almost like my body goes, no, too much drama.
Too much.
Because I guess I was in drama for so long as a child.
You just don't want drama.
It's almost like like two magnets, you know, the wrong way together. It's like ding, like I can't do it. But actually, it's nice to hear what you're saying, because we will all have that boundary. Also, you live by what you say, so it's not like you're saying one thing to your friend and then living a different life. You would live by. I
would live by what I said. Yeah,
it's like it's really inspiring and it's lovely, and it also
thanks, mate.
It also gives me like, oh, actually, no, I can hang out there a little longer than what I do.
Yeah, do you know absolutely what I mean? You can.
And just kind of like, because I know myself and I know when I can make that break.
Yeah, I mean, God almighty, we are so lucky. We've got a world full of gazillion, squillion, million people. And there are some absolutely amazing people in the world that are going to teach you some fantastic lessons about yourself, some things that you will be able to give to them. And you just have to sometimes pull the Band-Aid off. Yeah. Who cares if you feel a little bit embarrassed for a moment? What massive difference is it going to make to your life? Yeah. What difference is it going to make? You're going to feel a little bit embarrassed for a moment in time, and then it is gone. Yeah. But actually, if you take the chance to put yourself out there, you will find that there are a lot of people out there that feel the same as you and are a little bit worried with trepidation in wanting to go into adult friendships. Yeah. And honestly, like I said at the beginning of this, I have met some people in the more recent years of my adult life that are just phenomenal. I am a realist in the fact that I don't know if everything's going to last forever. Yeah, I don't.
And I think that's what's
great.
Okay. You know that, and you can go into it knowing that. And I think there's a lot of pressure, isn't there? I do think as we get older, though, because we've experienced so many friendships coming and going within our lives, and when we get to, I know for me, it's been 40. Yeah. That's when things have really started to change for friendships for me, or late 30s. I just think that when you're meeting people of the same age, they've been through so many of those friendship types as well. So suddenly, I think everyone's showing up at the table with a little bit of a different attitude of what
and maybe a little bit more of themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
And I definitely feel as if as I've got older, I mean, I've never been a particularly shy individual. Anybody that knows me knows that. It's all about me. But I do think that sometimes, I think people used to be saying, oh, as I get older, I can count the number of friends I've got on one hand. Yeah. For me, it's gone the other way.
Yeah, I love that.
I have more, and they're really unique, diverse individuals. They're not necessarily friends with each other, but hilariously, if you put them all in a room with each other, then they all get on like a house on fire. But also, I think, as you get older, you get wiser, and you drop the bullshit, and you drop the dead weight, and you drop the people that don't serve you. And, you know, like I was saying earlier, that I feel as if when I'm in a friendship, I'm at service. Yeah. It has to be reciprocated on a level. It's not tit for tat, but it has to be reciprocated.
It's all being heard and acknowledged.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't expect everybody to agree with my ideas or my thoughts or my feelings.
Yeah.
I don't expect my friends to agree with those things. I really, really don't.
But do you have the space for me to offload?
Exactly
for you to
that.
listen, and just, even if you're mirroring something back to me and saying, actually, that's not then maybe that's unreasonable or whatever their opinion might be. It's just having that
those conversations.
Yeah, those conversations.
I now find as well in my adult life, my friends will always call me when they're going through something difficult. So I know reaffirms that the love that I'm giving is seen, because they feel as if they can come to me without judgment to be able to offload anything. And that's what I'm there for.
I love it because it's consistent as well, which shows that it's your character. It's not a mask. It's not something, you're not doing this so that you're liked. You're not doing this so that you have more friends. It's very possible to have that mask on. If I'm just
absolutely.
nice, that someone will like me.
And
because that's not how you're showing up.
I think when I was a child, that's probably how I showed up.
Yeah, so you practice.
I think I faked it till I made it. Do you know what I mean? I think I put myself out there.
Because I guess being an only child,
you have to.
Yeah,
you have
you're
to.
testing and you're trying and you don't really know.
In my early teenage years, I became the funny friend. I mean, I still am the funny friend,
So funny.
but so fucking funny. I'm the funniest funny person. But that's how I showed up, because that almost like entrapped people. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, she's really funny and fun. Let's come to her.
We need to be around this person.
Yeah, but something that I didn't know about myself, which actually one of my oldest ride or dies said to me not that long ago, is that she said that she always admired how emotionally honest I was. So even though I played the part of the fucking jester,
so you would show up with this humour and this love and this, this vibrant energy, but when you weren't feeling that, you'd show up also
as the emotional support individual.
Again, honestly, I love that, because it just teaches people around you that they can do the same. So if we're vulnerable and we feel safe to do that, they will feel vulnerable back. So it's which is why you have so many friends that call you for that support.
It's got to be about being judgment free. I would hate for anybody to judge me for stupid things I do and stupid things I say, because I say plenty of them and I've done plenty of them. And I think that's pretty much the foundation for friendship.
It's funny, isn't it? Because like you say, being judged for something you say, I've been in situations where, and I think this is where the social anxiety I used to experience, which when it was really heightened, was I would go out and I would socialise, and then I would come back and spend literally 2 days going, what did I say? Who did I say it to? How did I say it? What did they think? What have they got that they can use against me? Or what have they got that now they don't like me? And I think with age that definitely softens, but it definitely softens more once we start doing that inner work of actually realising that it doesn't fucking matter if they're going to say or do whatever, because they're not your people.
No.
Like, we are all human. We're going to say stupid, dumb shit sometimes. We're going to say things that we don't really, truly 100% mean, or we don't articulate them in a way that is being understood the way we want it to be understood. Doing that inner work, I think, that's what's helped me, actually. Because I can walk away from a friendship situation now, or having interacted with friends now, and I don't replay.
You're not over-analysing everything.
And I think that's a big thing for people. I think there's a lot of people out there that
feel like that.
Yeah, and that's a tough place to be, because really what you want is that connection and that love, and that you want those friendships, but you're so scared of yourself that you kind of like, you're not showing up as you, really. Like, I wasn't showing up as fully me because I was so worried about saying the wrong thing, doing the wrong thing.
You're being a chameleon.
Basically, until I had a drink.
Yeah.
And then if I had a drink, oh my gosh, I was literally... So many people love Jodie drunk. So many people are like, we've got to go out with her, because I am so much fun. I was the one that was always on the dance floor, always had the funny conversations, always making fun of a situation. And so I stopped drinking. And I haven't drank a drop of alcohol for 4 years. And I did that because I knew it was a mask, and I wanted to see if I could do and have these connections
the stuff without it.
Because I can do that without it. It was just the crutch that I needed. So it was like, okay, what's in the way of this? And within the past 2 to 4 years, my friendship group doubled easily, and I don't have those thoughts after.
And you've got quality rather than quantity.
I've got quality rather than quantity, but the quantity is growing, and not because I feel like I need more friends or want more friends. It just is.
People are coming in.
Yeah,
wonderful people are coming in.
Because I'm more authentic with me, and I'm not scared to be me. And I think that's quite significant, actually, isn't it? In friendships, like you can't have those deep connections with someone if you're not having them with yourself.
Absolutely. But it's really funny because actually me and Jodie met through our mutual friend, who we absolutely love and adore. Yeah. She is an absolute angel. She really is.
It's a really recent friendship.
Yeah,
isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah, like
we literally met at a dinner party at our friend's house. Like just an energy connection. Where I was just like, something's there. And then we went away with each other for a job. We were sat on the train together, and then had this very surreal realization that we literally were the same person that had been split into two people. And it was so weird. Yeah. And I know at first there was a bit of trepidation from your point, because you were freaked out. Yeah. And then secondly, because I am. Be my friend. Do you want to be my friend?
I made the cut, guys.
Because I am like,
I got the voice message.
Do you want to be my friend? Do you want to be my friend? It did take Jodie a little while to warm up.
It did.
To the love. My advice for anybody who's out there, this is a beautiful little story before my advice. My mum has just recently started making friends. My mum is in her early 70s, and up until about 5-6 years ago, my mum had no friends. She's a generation of individuals that didn't put themselves out there, a generation of individuals that are constantly worried about being judged by others and about what others think about them. People were constantly worried about being judged. You had to wear your best clothes when you went out because you were worried what someone might think if you looked untidy or unkept. You were constantly worried if you said or did the right thing. And I think for my mum, she was in that generation, and she was in that time where she very much felt like that. And I'm sure even now people feel like that. I'm absolutely sure it's not necessarily just generational. She just didn't have many female friendships. I think her siblings were her friends. And I just can remember having this conversation with her. And I am a person who repeats the same conversation until it goes in. Yeah. I'm like, you will have your medicine. You will have your medicine until it makes you better. Damn it. And I said to her, you just got to get out there, Mum. I said, you just got to approach somebody that you like the feel of, somebody who's got the right energy for you. I said, you just got to go do it. Just got to go do it. And then she'd seen something come up for like a Tai Chi class. Did she get the text? What, my mum? No. My mother would never get that text. She's a saint. So she, I said, I fancy doing Tai Chi. It's something a bit different. And she was like, but I'm really like anxious about it. Really, really anxious. Totally to the point where it was making her feel poorly, and that she was trying to back out of going to Tai Chi, even though it was something she really wanted to do, because she was worried about what other people that she had no knowledge of, who did not know her at all, might think about her. Which is nuts, because nobody knows what other people think about them. And I was like, you're going to go. And she went, and she came home. She's like, I've made a new friend today. I was like, oh my God. And then after that, the Band-Aid, that was, that bit of fear where she felt really sick to her stomach out of the fear of going somewhere where there were going to be a lot of strangers that she won't know, in a situation where she thinks she's being judged by strangers. She went in there and she came out with a friend. She had met another woman when she was working, and she would tell me about her work colleague who was really lovely, and they had a nice time at work and would chat together at work. I said, have you seen if she's free for a coffee on Saturday, Mum? She's like, oh no, I couldn't do that. I said, what do you mean you couldn't do that? I said, you get on really well at work, so you've got like a good relationship at work where you have a laugh and it's good. She said, oh no. I said, Mother, just ask the woman if she's free for a coffee. She's either going to say no or she's going to say yes. Yeah. She's not going to think that you're strange because you asked if she wanted to go for coffee with you. Yeah. So she was like, it's so reluctant. And what a massive surprise. The woman said, yes, please, I'd love to come for coffee. Because she felt the same way but was embarrassed to do it the same.
The message in that for me is that it's never too late.
It is never too late. And that's what I'm saying. You've just got to Go for it. What's the worst the worst thing that's going to happen to you?
Yeah,
Really?
The rejection.
No, and that means
No.
they're not in alignment with you, and it's okay.
Yeah.
You don't like everybody. There are going to be people out there that you fundamentally do not like, and people are not going to like you.
Yeah.
But it's okay, because there will be an absolute shit ton of people that will love you and really like you and think that you are the best company in the world.
Knowing when you don't connect with someone is showing you where your tribe is or isn't. So it's a great message. It's a great gift.
Mate, honestly, I can barely get to see my mum now because my mum has got so many friends. Like, honestly, heaps and heaps and heaps of friends. And now she goes out of her way to befriend people that she thinks are lonely.
Oh my gosh,
She does it because she was that lonely individual. She knows that they're lonely. So she's like, no. I've been there. I don't want to feel like that. I don't want you to feel like that.
Yeah, that's amazing. I guess the gift in that is that if you do struggle to make friends and you find that courage to go and speak to that one person, you have potentially just given them the gift of a friendship, but also you've shown your bravery and your courage. They will then go and show that to somebody else.
Exactly.
And it's this knock-on effect, isn't it, of how friendships can grow and how you can grow into being a really lovely friend for somebody, but also for yourself. And doing that kind thing outwardly shows us that we can do it inwardly. So if you are struggling to make friends, or you do feel lonely, or maybe you've got a group of friends around you that you still feel quite lonely even though you have a lot of friends, or there's a lot of drama and you're not, it's misaligned with you, go out and see if you can just start chatting to that person. Or go in for coffee on your own and chatting to the person next to you, or go into the... I remember recently I went to the cinema on my own. I didn't actually speak to anybody, but my point is that that's a...
Didn't actually make any friends there.
Didn't actually make any friends there. In fact, I didn't want anyone there at all. But no, I think it's an empowering thing to do when you struggle in that area to make friends, is actually going out and doing the things that you think you need friends to do it with. Show yourself you don't, and subsequently it gives you the confidence to go, I can do these things. So now you go and talk to people. Now you go and make those connections. Yeah. Exactly. So it's doing those things. It really helps.
That's a really, really good idea.
Yeah.
That is a really, really good idea. And do you know what, as well? You don't have to make friends with everybody.
Yeah. In fact, don't. Please don't.
Please don't make friends with everybody.
Christmas will be very expensive.
Freaking hell, can you imagine? It's a lot of birthdays going on. But I think even just acknowledging other individuals.
Yeah.
A freaking smile. You look great today. Your hair looks beautiful.
Yeah.
You know how much you can change somebody's day when they're feeling like shit by just saying something kind.
Yeah.
Honestly, you can freaking heal the world with that shit. Just a little bit of kindness.
And you'll be so surprised as well with how many people spend days not speaking to anybody else. And in the queue, when you're grabbing a coffee, like you see someone's coat and you go, I really love your coat, and suddenly they're like, oh, thanks.
I've had some interaction.
They've had some interaction, they've got a compliment, maybe it sparked a conversation, maybe it hasn't, and that's okay, maybe you're just passing ships, but whatever, that could have been the biggest gift in someone's life in that moment. And I'm sure that it's probably happened to you, which is why you can kind of go, yeah, I know how that feels, because do you know what? Something amazing happened a few months ago. We were in the shop and we had a big trolley full of food, because I have basically boys with hollow legs and have to buy the whole shop every time I go shopping. And we were putting it on the conveyor, and there was this lady behind us. She was probably in her maybe late 60s, 70s. And she only had a basket. And I said, oh, do you want to go in front? And she paused, she looked at me, she went, oh, no one has ever offered me that.
You for real?
She was in her late 60s.
Oh my God! Do you think you've got to all that age and nobody's had well, mates? But no, but
it's so yeah. My point is, it's like
she was seen.
She was seen, and just starting off by communicating with people. It doesn't have to have an end goal of friendship, but just starting to step into communicating outside of your normal safe people kind of thing. That will help build those friendships up.
Special stuff. Oh, shall we end it on a...
Shall we have a hug to end it?
Oh. Hi, my friend.
Hi, my friends.
And hi, new friends.
Till next time.